Ladies and gentlemen, Bryan Adams and Wynonna. Tonight, it's an all-star tribute to Joni Mitchell, starring Bryan Adams, Tony Bennett, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Sean Colvin, Lawrence Fishburne, Elton John, Diana Krall, Katie Lang, Cyndi Lauper, Susan Sarandon, Sweet Honey in the Rock, James Taylor, Richard Thompson, Cassandra Wilson, Wynonna, and Joni Mitchell. Please welcome our host, Ashley Judd.
Good evening. In one of her most beloved and best-known songs, Joni Mitchell says that she has looked at life from both sides now. She wrote that song when she was only in her early 20s, and its meaning, of course, has only deepened with time. That fullness of vision, her ability to create art that endures, is really just one of the many qualities that has made Joni Mitchell's music such an important part of all our lives for 30 years. Tonight, along with an impressive array of artists and friends, we will have the privilege of paying tribute to the great Joni Mitchell in all her many aspects: the singer, the poet, the painter, the composer, the performer. And we will see her in all her beauty and accomplishment from all sides now. Her songs have been recorded countless times, and she has received many awards, including election to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Joni Mitchell is always exploring, and tonight's show will convey all the irresistible excitement and the magic of her spellbinding creative journey. Our next guest made her reputation for claiming that girls just want to have fun. Earlier, she and I had the privilege of watching Joni rehearse a song, and both Cyndi Lauper and I were crying, and we shared with one another an anecdote. Mine being that my sister and I used to sing this song out in the barn all the time, accompanied only by flashlights. And Cyndi said she used to sing it with just a guitar on the streets for money. That's just an example of what an intimate part of all our lives Joni is. Please welcome Cyndi Lauper singing Carrie.
In from Africa, but last night I couldn't sleep. You know it's really hard to leave here, but it's really not my home. My fingernails are filthy, I got beach tar on my feet. Oh, you know I miss my clean white linen and my fancy French cologne. Carrie, get out your cane, and I put on my silver. Oh, you're a mean old daddy, but I like you. I will buy you a bottle of wine, and we'll laugh and toast to nothing and smash our empty glasses down. Let's have a round for these freaks and these soldiers. Let's have a round for these friends of mine. Let's have a round for the bright red devil keeps me in this tourist town. Come on, Carrie, get out your key. I'll put on my silver. Oh, you're a mean old daddy, but I like you. I like you. I like you, like Carrie, get out your key. I'll put on my silver. Oh, you're a mean old daddy, but I like you. I like you. I like you. And I'll go to Amsterdam, and maybe I'll go down to Rome, and
California in the late 60s was a magical place. It seemed that the old standards were being shattered and that new values and new talents were rising up. Among the most startling of those talents was Joni Mitchell. Even amid the daily wonders of that time and place, Joni's songs made an overwhelming impression. They found intimate poetry in plain speech and communicated with the quiet force of one soul speaking to many soulmates. The New Times had, indeed, found a brilliant new voice.
Appropriately for one of the greatest songwriters of our time, Joni Mitchell's songs reached large audiences even before she herself did. In the mid-60s, versions of Urge for Going and The Circle Game by Tom Rush, and Michael from Mountains and Both Sides Now by Judy Collins, made Joni an underground legend while she was still eking out a living on the coffee house circuit. "I record Joni's songs because I like them," Collins said. "There doesn't seem to be anyone quite as good." That praise was confirmed when Joni herself began recording in 1968, after she had dropped out of art school in her native Canada and moved first to Detroit and then to New York City. Her first album, Joni Mitchell, Song to a Seagull, was produced by David Crosby. They met after he had wandered into a performance of hers at a small club in Florida. He was blown away by what he had heard. "I couldn't believe that there was anybody that good," he said. Joni moved with Crosby to Laurel Canyon, California, where she entered a music scene bursting with energy.
With antique luxury, she is a lady of the canyon.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash were forming, and soon Joni was at the nationwide forefront of a singer-songwriter movement that would include the likes of James Taylor, Laura Nyro, and Jackson Browne. Songs like Chelsea Morning, Woodstock, and Big Yellow Taxi helped define the aspirations of a generation eager to create a new, brighter world.
Coloring the sunshine house, they are the ladies of the canyon.
But if the willowy young woman with a guitar sometimes seemed to be not only the poet, but the poster girl of the counterculture, that would be only the first of many stereotypes from which she would break free.
As Joni Mitchell was helping to usher in the folk rock revolution in America, our next guest was breaking the same musical ground in England. As a matter of fact, his band, Fairport Convention, recorded 2 of Joni's songs on their debut album. He's a great singer and songwriter and a truly amazing guitarist. To perform Woodstock, I'm very pleased to present the extraordinary Richard Thompson.
Maybe it's the time of year, and maybe it's the a time of mine. I don't know who I am, but life's for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, and we got to get ourselves back to God. Towards dark, we were 500,000 strong, and everywhere there was song and celebration. And I dreamed I saw the bombers riding shotgun in the sky. They were turning into butterflies across our nation. Stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Stay tuned for performances by James Taylor, Elton John, and Katie Lang.
Ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to lend my voice to the all-star chorus assembled tonight to pay tribute to one of the great singers-songwriters of our generation, or of any generation for that matter. Now, you may have heard about the special role that Joni Mitchell has played in my life. It was nearly 30 years ago when Bill and I were in London on vacation, and we were walking through Chelsea on a beautiful spring morning, and we just spontaneously started singing Chelsea Morning. Now, close your eyes for just a moment and listen to this lyric. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on the wall. And right then we decided that if we ever had a little girl, we would name her Chelsea in celebration of the feelings we had that morning and what that song meant to us. Remember the brilliant sun-soaked mornings that it evoked, mornings full of promise and optimism for the future. Well, nearly 10 years later, on the day she was born, we wished our daughter a lifetime of Chelsea mornings, and indeed, we named her Chelsea. Joni for that and for 4 decades of extraordinary music that has spanned genres from folk to rhythm and blues, pop, rock, and jazz. I want to join the many great artists there tonight and say simply, thank you. Thank you so very much. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce 2 young singer-songwriters who, like so many other performers today, credit Joni for influencing their music. Ladies and gentlemen, singing my favorite Joni Mitchell classic, here are Sean Colvin and Mary Chapin Carpenter.
was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun won't you wake up, it's Chelsea morning. Gave paradise, put up a parking lot with a big hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Gave paradise, put up a parking lot. Took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged all the people $1.50 just to see you. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. James Taylor.
Say, mama, farmer, put away your DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees. I said,
Please don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard that screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi went and took away this old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Paved paradise.
Joni, the bone on the throne, where she belong. Thanks for writing this.
well, it's coming on Christmas, and they're cutting down trees, putting up reindeer, singing songs of joy and peace. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. It don't snow here, it's to stay pretty green. Like to make a mess of money, maybe quit this crazy scene. I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Oh, I wish I had a river so wide I could teach my feet to fly away. Well, I wish I had a river I could skate away. But I'm so hard to handle. I'm selfish and I'm sad, and I think I lost the best baby I guess I ever had. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. She tried hard to help me, tried to put me at ease. She loved me so Wish I had a river that I could skate away. I could skate away. I could skate away.
Coming up, Susan Sarandon, Katie Lang, and a return performance by Winona.
Our next performer and I have shared some of our most sweet and most bitter moments together, revolving around the subject of Joni Mitchell's songs. Some of the sweet memories are things like learning Chelsea Morning together. I was 6, she was 10. And the bitterest fight to this day we've ever had was over the sequence of lyrics in a song off Court and Spark. I was 7, she was 11. To sing You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio, here is my sister, who I think is second in the pantheon, only next to Joni Mitchell.
I've loved you, Joni, since I was 10 years old, and I can't believe this is happening. There's no good reception for me to tune me out. 'Cause honey, who needs the static? It hurts the head, and you wind up cracking, and the day goes dismal from breakfast morning to the side. What a sorry face you get to wear. I'm gonna tell you again now, you're still listening there. If you're driving into town with a dark cloud above you, down in the number who's bound to love you. If you're lying on the beach with the transistor going, kick off the sand, 'cause honey, the love's still flowing. If your head says forget it, but your heart's still aching, call me up
Our next guest embodies the ethic that creative work is not worth doing if it doesn't say something penetrating and provocative. Please welcome a beautiful and sassy woman, a great actor and an activist, Susan Sarandon.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to see you, gal. And so nice to be just even a little part of this evening. Thank you. Songwriting, like acting, is an elusive blend of instinct, intelligence, and technique. Joni Mitchell epitomizes all those virtues at their absolute peak. Through her songs, she explores her most frightening and exhilarating feelings, and then, when she sings those songs, she takes us with her out onto an emotional high wire and walks us all the way across it with originality, grace, and wit. As the 60s ended, people began to turn away from the external world of politics and protest and started to look into themselves. Joni Mitchell embarked on that internal journey with characteristic, hell-bent courage. On now legendary albums like Blue, For the Roses, and Court and Spark, Joni fashioned a style of writing that far transcended the folk music of her origins. In bold confessional songs like River, Woman of Heart and Mind, and Help Me, she documented the unruly wanderings of her heart and the hearts of her equally unruly lovers. An entire generation responded, and women in particular felt the deep resonance of Joni's struggle to reconcile her urge for going and her yearning for connection. I am on a lonely road and I am traveling, 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 looking for something. What can it be, she sang. At that period of my life, I had no personal defenses, she said. I felt like I had absolutely no secrets from the world. As revealing as those albums are, however, Joni always saw her work as not merely expressing emotions, but creating redemptive beauty from them. Pouring out your heart in an uncontrolled way may be fine in your diary, but Joni's songs are testaments to the satisfying, shaping, and enduring power of art.
I am a woman of heart and mind, with time on her hands, no child to raise.
To me, words are only symbols, and the word art has never lost its vitality, she said. It still has meaning to me. I always knew what I meant by art. Ladies and gentlemen, to perform Help Me, one of the great singers of her generation, I'm pleased to present Miss Katie Lang.
Trouble, 'cause you remember and again.
There's more to come with Sean Colvin, Mary Chapin Carpenter, and Lawrence Fishburne. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lawrence Fishburne.
Good evening. Performers who sell millions of records change their artistic direction at their commercial peril. But Joni Mitchell has never been interested in letting the marketplace dictate her aesthetic choices. You can stay the same and protect the formula that gave you your initial success, she once said. But staying the same is boring. And change is interesting. That single-minded pursuit of what intrigues her led Joni inevitably to jazz and to some of the boldest musical creations of her career.
Joni Mitchell may be best known for her lyrics, but she has been just as adventurous as a musician and composer. Virtually from the start of her career, her inventive tunings broadly expanded the colors of her sound and made her guitar playing as richly expressive as her words.
She patrols that fence of his to a Latin drum and the hissing of summer long.
Joni further expanded her musical palette when she teamed up with the jazz band Tom Scott and the LA Express on Court and Spark, and experimented with African rhythms on the hissing of summer lawns. Then on her 1976 album Hejira, she defined a wholly original sound, as open and free as the Canadian prairies where she grew up. The music was jazz-influenced and fluid, and her writing was poetically ambitious and painfully revealing. "I'm not a pitiable creature," she would joke later. "It's just that I suffer very eloquently." Joni has worked with incomparable jazz players on the order of Jaco Pastorius, Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Mark Isham, and Pat Metheny.
I come from open prairie, given some wisdom and a lot of jive.
But her involvement with jazz achieved its most fearless expression when the legendary bassist and composer Charles Mingus asked to collaborate with her shortly before he died. The audio paintings on the resulting album, Mingus, are the most controversial recordings of Joni's career. They confounded the pop audience, outraged jazz purists, and cost Joni radio play. She didn't regret it a bit, calling the extraordinary opportunity to work with Mingus a very dramatic life lesson. And posterity has borne out her bravery. Succeeding generations of young listeners and young musicians have found powerful inspiration in the album Mingus for their own desire to shatter boundaries and break new ground.
If Joni Mitchell ruffled feathers by moving from pop music into jazz, our next guest raised eyebrows when she moved in the opposite direction. She is one of our greatest jazz singers, but that hasn't stopped her from recording songs by everyone from Neil Young to the Monkees. As you will see, she puts her inimitable stamp on everything she touches. Tonight, accompanied by a truly stunning array of musicians, she will perform a piece co-written by Joni and the immortal Charles Mingus. Please welcome Cassandra Wilson.
Down to a roll of dimes, stalking the slot that's hot. I keep hearing bells all around me, jingling the lucky jackpots. They keep you tantalized, they keep you reaching in your wallet here in Food's Paradise. I talked to a cat from Des Moines, he said he ran a cleaning plant. That cat was clanking with coin. Well, he must have had a genie and lamp, 'cause every time I dropped a dime of blue, he'd keep bringing bells, nothing to it. He got 3 oranges, 3 lemons, 2 cherries, 3 plums. I'm losing my taste for fruit, watching the dry cleaner do it, like Midas in a polyester suit. It's all luck, it's just luck. You get a little lucky and you make a little money. The strip, he picked out a booth for circus where the cowgirls fill the room with their big balloons. The clean was fitted with purpose. He had dinos and Pooh Bears and lions, pink and blue there. He couldn't lose. No. Off the tables, ringing the bandit's bell. This is a story that's dragged to tell. Some was I lost every time I laid on the line, but the cleaner from Des Moines could put a coin in the door of the John, and 20-1 is all luck.
Stay tuned for performances by Elton John, Diana Krall, and Joni Mitchell.
Our next guest's music is inseparable from their struggle for social justice. Their roots are deep in the ongoing civil rights movement, and their sounds swell up from the wildly tempestuous, richly fertile marriage of Africa and America. The poet Sonia Sanchez once wrote, "Who are these sisters strutting the stage like Amazons in tambourine laughter?" You're about to find out. To perform the circle game, please welcome the incredible Sweet Honey in the Rock.
Yesterday a child came out to water, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and around, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captured on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and around and around in the circle game. Oh, round and round and round and round, round and round and round. Then the boy moves over the sea. down. They go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captured on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and around and around in the circle game. Oh, so now the years gone by, the boy is 20. Those dreams have lost their grandeur, coming true. There'll be new dreams, maybe better. There'll be plenty before the last revolving year is oh, and the seasons they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captured on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go around and around and around in the circle, around and around and around and round, go round and around and round and around, round and around and round and around and round and around and around and oh, round and around and round and around and round and around and round and around, round and around.
Now to sing Amelia, a song of great inspiration and genius that always makes me cry. Please welcome back Sean Colvin and Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Joni, it's such an honor to be here. I don't know what I would have done without you.
That's
and
right.
Thank you. And Chapin and I also especially want to thank you for the Roses album cover, because we both went out and bought fry boots and made green velvet outfits, because and that's kind of how it's been.
And we went through our beret phase as well. So.
And it's just kind of gone on like that. But we're not you, but we're happy to pay tribute to you, and I hope you're having a wonderful evening.
I was driving across the burning desert when I spotted 6 jet planes, leaving 6 wide vapor trails across the bleak terrain. It was the hexagram of the heavens, it was the strings of my guitar. Just a false alarm. The drone of flying engines is a song so wild and blue, it scrambles time and seasons if it gets through to you, and your life becomes a travelogue, a picture postcard charm. Amelia, it was just a false alarm. People will tell you where they've gone. They'll tell you where to go. Till you get there yourself, you'll never really know. have found their paradise. Others just come to harm. Amelia was just a false alarm. That he was here tonight. It's so hard to obey his sad request of me to kindly stay away. So this is how I hide the hurt, as the road leads cursed and charred. I tell Amelia it's just a false alarm. Ghost of aviation, she was swallowed by the sky, by the sea, like me. She had a dream to fly, like Icarus ascending on beautiful foolish arms. Amelia, it was just a false alarm. Maybe I've never really loved. I guess that is the truth. I've spent my whole life in clouds at icy altitudes, and looking down on everything, I crashed into his arms. False alarm. I pulled into the Cactus Tree Motel, shower off the dust, and I slept on the strange pillows of my wanderlust. I dreamed of 747s over geometric farms. Dreams, Amelia, dreams and false alarms.
Coming up, Elton John and Tony Bennett.
And now to perform Black Crow from Joni's album Hijera. Now that settles an old family score. It's Hijera for sure. That's how you pronounce it. Please welcome once again the great Richard Thompson.
Black as the highway that's leading me. Now he's diving down to pick up on something shallow. drove to a pontoon plane. I took a plane to a taxi, and a taxi to a train. I've been traveling so long, am I ever gonna know my home when I see it again? I'm like a black crow, I'm flying in a blue sky. Such a lower music. My whole life has been illumination, corruption, and diving down to pick up on every little shiny thing. It's like the black crow, I'm flying in a blue sky. After being up all night, I looked up my haggard face in the bathroom light. I looked out the window and I saw that ragged soul take flight. I saw a black crow flying in a blue sky. Thanks very much. Thank you. We have a wonderful house band here this evening. It's been a great pleasure to listen to them tonight. Let me tell you who they are. Aha. On guitar and pedal steel, my old friend Greg Leith. And also on guitars, Dean Parks. And on the keyboards, Jamie Muhobarak. And on drums, Kurt Bisquera. On the trumpet, Mark Isham. On the saxophone, Bob Shepherd. Let's hear it for our background vocalist, Wendy Wagner. Kate Markovitz. And Nikki Richards. Thank you. And last but not least, well, very least, our musical director, Mr. Larry Klein.
And now it is my honor to introduce to you one of Joni Mitchell's greatest fans. He also happens to be an icon, Sir Elton John.
Somebody calling down. I
I'd go back there tomorrow before the work got taken on, stoking the star maker machinery behind the popular song. Walk through that door and wander down the Champs-Élysées, going happy to cabaret, thinking how I feel when I find a very good friend of mine. I was a free man in Paris, I felt better than alive. Nobody was calling me up for favors, no one's future to decide.
I just say what an honor it is to actually be on this show. I mean, every artist backstage is going, oh my God, we can't actually believe we're performing Joni Mitchell songs with her sitting in the box. I mean, I've played with before the Queen of England. It's not so, not so intimidating as having such a great musician there, really. Woo. Okay, our next guest is one of the brightest lights burning on the jazz scene. She recently won a Grammy Award for Best Jazz Vocal Performance for her album, When I Look in Your Eyes. Yeah. Here to perform A Case of You, please join me in welcoming the fantastic, sensational Diana Krall.
Just before our love got lost, you see, I am as constant as a northern star. I sit constantly in the dark. Where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back cartoon coaster, in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada. With your face sketched on it twice. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. It tastes so bitter and it tastes so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling. Still be on my feet, still be on my feet.
paints. I'm frightened by the devil and drawn to those who ain't afraid. I remember when you told me love is touching souls. Surely you touched mine. Part of you pours out me in these lines from time to time. You in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and you taste so sweet. Ooh, I could drink a case of you. I could drink a case of you, darling, still be on my feet, and still be on my feet. Mouth like yours. She knew your devils and your deeds. She said, go ahead, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. You in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and you taste so sweet. Oh, could drink a case of you. Darling, still be on my feet. Still be on my feet.
Stay tuned for Tony Bennett, Joni Mitchell, and a special all-star finale.
Paid the cost to be the boss. Heading for the turnaround.
The NBA playoffs are coming to TNT, starting Saturday at 8.
Ow!
Win? I'll go home.
This All-Star tribute to Joni Mitchell is brought to you by AXA Advisors. AXA Advisors, building futures. And by AccuView Contact Lens.
Following Sean and Mary Chapin's lead, I just want to say one personal thanks to Joni. Thank you, Joni Mitchell, for being a vessel through which the most ineffable gift passes and blessing us all with your life all these years. We love you. Our next guest is a singer and a painter and, in all things, a consummate artist. It is an absolute honor to present to you one of the very greatest masters of the American song, Mr. Tony Bennett.
Joni Mitchell's painting and music are each driven by the same spirit. Whether on canvas or in song, her work is filled with energy and passion. The thrill that she finds in the creative process is present in her music, as you will see as much as in her painting as well. When Joni Mitchell was in grade school, a teacher, Mr. Kratchman, told her, "If you can paint with a brush, you can paint with words." Thus began her career as a songwriter, and in gratitude, she dedicated her very first album to him. Although she enjoys a long and successful music career, painting has always been Joni's first love and a constant in her life. Her painting has remained a personal haven, distant from the pressures of the outside world. In her mind, she has always been a painter first.
You wanna make Van Goghs, raise them up like sheep.
But Joni has always managed to strike a balance by blending her art and her music. A series of self-portraits grace a number of her album covers, displaying the same beauty and honesty of her songs. As she has shifted between musical styles through the years, her paintings have reflected these changes.
I'm a burning heart, he said. People see the smoke.
Joni often talks about her music in terms of art. She'll describe one of her musical phases as her Jackson Pollock period, or refer to a musical passage as opening up like a Georgia O'Keeffe flower. Painting allows her to endlessly reinvent herself outside of the public eye and away from the media glare. Like Picasso, she's a restless artist. Those who push the outside of the envelope are her heroes. Joni Mitchell is a committed and dedicated artist and is, as she wrote, a lonely painter who lives in a box of paints. Ladies and gentlemen, Joni Mitchell.
Rose and flows of angel green, and ice cream castles in the air, and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way. But now they only block the sun, and they rain and they snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way.
it's just another show. And you leave them laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. Illusions that I recall. I really don't know love. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. Oh, but now old friends, they're acting strange. Shake their heads and they tell me that I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. And life from both sides now, from up and down and give and take and win and lose. Life's illusions that I recall. I really don't know life at all. Life's illusions that I recall. I really don't know life. I really don't know life at all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my old friends and acquaintances, and it's such a surrealistic event for me, you can imagine. I won't be able to express really how I feel for days. I don't think it's just, I'd like to bring everybody back and do something. I can't describe how I feel. Could you, Susan? Come and describe how I feel.